Have you ever felt different? You ever felt like you're never going to fit in? Like you're constantly just going against the grain? You're constantly being made fun of. You're constantly just subject to somebody else's expectation, right? And you find yourself always wanting to abide by something that other people don't even understand, right? I call it being the upholder, right? You want to uphold these values such as spirituality, higher consciousness, getting into what it means beyond the matrix control, beyond this illusion of separateness. It's really hard to fathom, right? The fact that so many people are stuck literally in an illusion that is a reality that is not real. And here you are on the other side of that illusion, and it's like it's a genuine reaction to want to help people wake up, to want to help people get to the other side to where you're at. Now, I understand that. However, 9 times out of 10, this creates suffering. This creates depression. This creates anxiety. This creates overwhelming feelings because you know you can't help them at that deeper level. You know that all you can truly do is be yourself, because anything except for that is what's called conditional love. You can justify it with your mind. You can justify it with whatever spiritual terms. And now that you have this spiritual ego, you're going to even separate yourself from this person even more and create even more suffering, right? Now you are waking up. You are what's called a light worker. You are what's called a star seed, someone who is literally from the heavens come down here to help transform this planet and create higher consciousness in human form. Not everybody's here to do that. In fact, most people are afraid of higher consciousness. Most people are stuck in their fragile, vulnerable ego shell, and they are just surviving day to day, just going through the motions. Now, no judgment whatsoever. I have nothing but love to every sentient being, every soul on this planet. I just want to let you know that as a light worker, as an empath, as someone who's sensitive to energy, right? It is inevitable that the human soul will go through all of these phases and finally get to the other side, which was what we call awakening. Now, what does that even mean? What are we awakening from, right? We're going from literally a place of darkness, a place of separation, where you're just going through the motions in that zombie mode, right? There is no consciousness whatsoever, only doing what you're told. And then we have the creator, right? You become this expanded version of yourself. You start to quote unquote awaken from that separate illusion, which was your old version of reality. And now you have this new version of reality on the other side. It's still the same soul, right? You're not literally a different person. The meat suit might look different. You might grow some hair, right? You might get into a new fashion or something. However, that soul is still in there somewhere, right? That's what we're talking about here, the evolution of the soul. You know what I mean, right? You probably have friends that are older adults that act like complete children, right? That is a very young, new soul in that body. And you probably have friends, maybe even kids, right, that you've talked to that are 6, 10 years old, and they're like way ahead of their time. They're just spitting facts and knowledge, and you're just like, how is this even possible, right? That is the soul coming through, right? We have these great ascended masters, right? Yeshua, Jesus, Buddha, right? And then trickling down from that, even people, you know, like Alan Watts, right? Or whoever you're into, Ram Dass, right? People that are totally ahead of their time, persevering through this darkness, illuminating souls left and right, because that's what we're here to do. All right. Now you, if you experienced any of this, right, then you are a light worker. You are a starseed. You are someone who is a light warrior even, because you have to battle for the light. Like I said, you have to uphold the light because you know how strong this current is. You know how strong and how big of a potential this is when we all reach that level, right? And then it's inevitable to see that matrix control, to see the illusion of separateness that has been cast upon us like a plague, and to make sure that that is not happening by accident, and it's inevitable to want to pull people out of it, okay? So wherever you're at on this game, wherever you're at in this frequency scale in your journey, understand that authenticity is always number one. Even if it's something dark and depressing, right? Embrace that part of yourself. Right? Even if you're having cravings or if you're having feelings that are not coming from that, place where you really want it to be, embrace all of that, right? Just because it's not quote unquote spiritual doesn't mean it's not worthy of your energy, right? Because in all actuality, everything is spiritual, even if you think it's not. Even if it's a part of the 3D matrix or the code, that's still spiritual too, right? There's still an energy behind that form too. So instead of acting like everything is physical and getting caught in this material universe, all we have to do is go through that form and understand that we are all one. We are all here to do this thing and get beyond the samsara and finally obtain that enlightenment, that nirvana, that beautiful thing that is called self-realization, right? The oneness. We have to experience that. If we don't, then here we go, round and round again, learning these lessons, growing up these baby bodies, going through puberty, finally getting an adult body just so we can master consciousness and do it all over again. Isn't it exhausting? Think about how many times you've done that, right? You are awakened. You are literally just picking up where you left off, right? Doesn't matter what word you use, like light worker or star seed, or if you believe you're a chosen one. None of that matters, honestly. All these religions, all these gurus, right? All of these spiritual teachers are all going to the same place. It's that fifth dimensional energy. It's that place of oneness. Whether you call it God or Krishna or Shiva, Yeshua, Buddha, none of this matters because, again, this is a place of separateness. This is that part of your brain that just want to categorize everything and label everything, put it off in some filing cabinet, and then move on to the next thing, right? That is literally keeping you from that nirvana energy, from that samadhi, from that kundalini experience, from all of that higher consciousness. That ego, that part of yourself that just wants to categorize everything, let it go. You see? The part of yourself that wants to control everything, let it go. You see, it doesn't matter what's happening in the Matrix game. It doesn't matter what's happening on the surface at all, because everything is energy and you are a part of that construct, which is energy. So start allowing that part of yourself to come through more, you see, because it's all an attachment. It's all a belief, right? So if you truly believe that you are spirit, then you can experience it. If you truly believe you are just this physical body and this meat suit, then that's what you're going to experience. There's no judgment. It all comes back down to free will. Now, the only thing that's different in this modern time, that's different than the olden days and the old paradigm, is we have this thing called the Matrix. We have this simulation happening. We have this artificial agenda that's been plagued out in front of us, and you have to create work. You have to do something to overcome it, to get back in tune with nature, to get back in tune with these old ways of life. With 50, 100 years ago, everybody was living that, but now it's something that is foreign. Now it's something that you have to put more effort in to achieve. Whether you call it being off-grid, like me, whether you want to live the quote-unquote simple life, right? These things are no longer simple. These are very complex, right? Things that you have to do to deprogram and unschool all of those matrix attachments to finally get in tune with that simple life. Trust me, I've done it, and it's not easy, right? So all of you that have resonated with your journey that is anchoring, right, to this ascension process, all of us are doing it together. You are not alone, right? That's what this whole channel is about. That's what this whole podcast is about. And I want you to know that the fact that you are here means the world to me, right? Let's connect on a deeper level. If this resonates with you, there are openings now in my inner circle group where we can get around this censorship, we can talk about all of these spiritual teachings, get in tune with the Great Awakening outside of social media. In the description, you will find a link to that. It is called patreon.com/theinfinitecup. That is the link, right? This is how you get to the Signal app. It's my Discord server, similar to Telegram, right? What you need to know is that this is a censored podcast. This is a censored video. The most of the content on social media nowadays is not authentic. It's not the true original message, right? So to get around all of this censorship, I've created a group on the Signal app. Please join. It is a great way for us to commune and get into these weekly Zoom meetings on Sundays. It's been really fun connecting with all of you. So if you want to join, again, the link is in the description below. And until next time, guys, infinite love, infinite peace. I'm out.